Mhm.
All three of us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it because my dad with his girls super partial.
Yep.
Super partial to his girls. Okay.
We can start.
Okay.
Is this I'm sorry, is that was that a mistake?
That was a mistake. Yep.
Okay.
I'm the attending veterinarian.
Okay.
Dr. Croom Mobile Veterinary Service. And I actually recently got a new licensure in a new state, Colorado. And I'm working with some like wolf dogs out there. All kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff.
All right. I get
Okay.
ready to set us.
Yeah.
Hello, and thank you so much for being here with us today. You are watching the Intervene Show with Arlena Jones, my brother Leon Jones, and the infamous Dr. Turnera Veterinary. Turnera Croom. I'm gonna actually let you further give all your list, labels, hats, titles, because I don't know if my vocabulary is that big.
Right. You do it like when I was young, Turnera. Just put that all together in one. But it's good to see you again, Arlena.
Thank you. This is round two.
Yeah.
You kept your promise. You
It's
came
round
back.
two. I definitely did. Yeah. I'm known as Dr. Turnera Croom, Doc. I'm known as Dr. Croom Army Vet from the time I served in the Army Veterinary Corps. I have recently gotten certification in animal chiropractic, so there's a couple more letters, behind my name now, in addition to DVM, and retired major in the Army Veterinary Corps as well. So, yeah, that's me.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Okay. As you got your, product lines and everything
Yeah.
else, like, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna just let you take the mic. So,
Okay.
where we want to kick off at, like, what does the world need to know? How do we start?
Man, I mean, I love being a veterinarian,
Okay.
and a lot of it has to do with those pets now are part of people's family now.
Mhm.
It's they're part of the family, no question about it. We don't have to do any more research into that. They're part of the family. And one thing I just love about vet med is that we can kind of shift and move amongst the different veterinary specialties, throughout our career. So I started out as after graduating from Tuskegee Vet School, I went right into the military. So I did, Army veterinarian as a specialty for several years. Then I got out and I did laboratory animal medicine for quite a few years where, just like it sounds, animals that are in a laboratory, it's more of a research realm. And then I did some work for the Department of Agriculture as a public health veterinarian. So that was with cows and pigs, and I didn't work directly with them. It was more like the animals that come off of the trucks for feeding us humans.
Mm.
And then after that, after about 8 years of watching cow after cow after cow, I was like, I got to get out and hang up my own shingle. So that's when I opened up my own Dr. Croom Mobile Veterinary Service. And the rest, as they say, is history. During COVID, that was a huge thing. I was already a mobile vet.
What is a mobile vet?
Yeah, oh, that's an idea. That's a good thing to go over because I say that term and people
Yeah.
are like, what
What
is
is a
that?
mobile vet? Yeah.
We go around and we come right to your house.
Okay.
So that means that, pets that maybe are ailing in certain ways, which, if they need a vet, they ailing in certain ways. But ones that may be a little older, stiff joints like we get, can't move around, I go right there to the home and make it easier for them and their pet parent. So that's a mobile vet. I do a lot of telehealth too. So I get on the virtual with the client beforehand and I get to meet them and the pet before I go to their house.
Okay.
So crazy how I used to do that. Like I look back, how sometimes you look back at your life and your career and you're like, I did that? Like I used to go to the house, meeting them for the first time they're at the house. Like, oh, hi, great to meet you. Great to meet the pet. Acclimating with the pet, asking questions, figuring things out, and then doing treatments at the end. I'm like, I must have been there for hours.
Mm-hmm.
But now with the advent of telehealth and telemedicine on the animal side, because we know telehealth and telemedicine has been around for quite a while on the human side, where you
Okay.
can just get on the camera with your doctor and everything like that. But it's a little less, we've been less able to do that on the animal side just because, the rules of each state are different, where they say, oh, you have to, put your hands on the animal before you can actually like prescribe medications or things like that. So I figure out a way to give my pet parents access to me and my care before coming out.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how I used to do that, but I'm still mobile. I still love it. I
Okay.
love being out in the nature.
Okay.
I'm a nature girl, and I love to, just have the wind in my hair. I'm going to, I got my little Hummer, right, my little red Hummer, the dog doc license plate, and I just love being out there. Wintertime, maybe not so much, but like a day like this, even when it's cool, I just love being outside, not like locked into a vet clinic. Yeah.
You have a van?
I do not have a wrapped van that says, hey, I'm a vet.
Okay.
Because I like to stay under the radar with that.
Okay.
Like I said, I do have a license plate. Like if you happen to see my license plate, you're like, oh, is that a dog? Like, yeah. But other than that, I'm not trying to be targeted by anyone that's like, do you have ketamine on board? Or, just anything like that.
Oh.
And I know it's like something people don't think about, but it's like times can be tough for people. There's a lot of situations going on out there. So no shade, but I'm trying to stay under the radar like that.
What was your start? You talked about school and, like what were you doing at like 12? Like, you know what, I want to be a vet. Like, how did this all kick off for you? Because you've come so far, like your career,
Yeah. I've definitely done a lot. Yeah, that had to do with J.E. Croom, James Croom. We just talked about my dad and how he transitioned a little over a year ago, and it was him. I still remember a recording that I did out there with him out in nature. I was like, I'm Turnera Croom, and it was April 15th, 1988. Like my sisters tease me about that because we still remember that. But I was out doing like leaf projects in the 8th grade. My dad was right there with me, going around finding Michigan leaves and putting a project together. I remember I did a rat maze project. We put the maze together. I got the white rats. Of course, I wanted to keep the rats after the thing was over.
I heard they're good pets.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I've heard
Rats
they
are
were
very
good
smart.
pets. I've
They're
heard
so
that.
smart.
Like,
Yep.
that's the rumor.
Yep. Now, of course, people are like, ugh, that rat, like, you could probably teach that rat
That's
to go,
what I've
like, go
heard.
get my cup of coffee. Like, like, you really, literally could. They are
That's-
super smart.
That's what people say who got rats. They stand behind they
Yep.
fluffy little.
Rats and pigs, too. Pigs are also very, very smart, So that's, how I got my start is just my dad being a science teacher.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Teaching the biological sciences, whereas, Mom was a teacher, too, and she taught, the political science and government and anthropology. That didn't really strike my interest quite as much. I was like, ooh, I want to be outside. So, yeah, Daddy, he would bring home all kinds of, like, chameleons and baby chicks and stuff like that, fetal pigs, all the things that allow me as a veterinarian to not be like squeamish about certain things, because that's one of the big things about being a vet that I hear from youngsters now. They're like, oh, I would be a vet, but the blood and the guts and stuff, or not wanting to have to put them down, which is, the euthanasia. That's another big thing that
You don't do that, do you?
pushes. What do you mean? That's 75% of my business right now. Yeah, 75% of my business right now is probably my Last Wishes service, and we can definitely get into that a little bit more.
Yes.
'Cause I actually had a service today, as a matter of fact. 7-pound cat. It's mostly dogs and cats that I do that service for, and it's word of mouth mostly, because when you need that service, it's not like you're like, where can I find that online? It's more like calling your neighbor, like, oh, I know you had to do that with your dog. Who did you use? How did it work? And so it's usually a lot of word of mouth for that. It's interesting because, no one graduates from vet school thinking, hey, I'm going to get out here and just make a successful career of putting down beloved pets, But especially after COVID and just all the inside the home stuff, is when the Last Wishes service really blew up.
I guess the fact that you mentioned that you work um, doing what for cows? You was checking on the health of cows.
Yeah.
So,
Well, when I was working for the Department of Agriculture, that was more so like humane handling of the
Mm.
cattle. So like when they came
Yeah.
in off those big trucks,
Yep.
my
Yep.
role, regulatory role, was a regulatory
Uh-huh.
role. So I would like make sure that the trucks themselves were
Mhm.
set up
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
that they, when they were brought off the trucks, they
Yep.
weren't being,
Yeah.
run too
uh,
fast, or if
Yeah.
it's the winter
Yep.
time,
Yep.
that their floors in the barn are not
Mhm.
slippery and slick, that the
Yep.
water for them to drink in the barn is not frozen,
oh, okay.
so
Yep.
all those kind of things regulatory,
Oh,
as
that's so
well as
important.
the actual knocking, we'll say knocking of the animals,
Mhm.
because they use a knocking gun for the meat animals.
Mhm.
And it just, I don't want to get too graphic, on the show or anything, but their knocking mechanism must be
Mhm.
sufficient
Mhm.
to do that
Mhm.
on one
Yep.
take.
Yep. Yep.
And so,
Yep.
like, I
Yep.
would stand off in the corner sometimes and observe that for a period of time.
Mhm.
I remember one time I did have to shut a big plant down,
Mhm.
which as soon, these plants are making thousands of dollars a minute.
Mm-hmm.
A
So if you're
minute.
shutting them down for even a few minutes,
Mhm.
they're losing. So
Mhm.
they, like, as soon as stuff is shut down, people are running,
Mhm.
running right to you, like, what's going on, doc? Like, oh, like, what can we do? Like, can we, get this line turned back on? But my rules are
Mhm.
are steadfast.
Yep.
The
And
government you're working on it. Federal.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And
So,
integrity.
absolutely, just the integrity and the government, because I
Yeah.
put definitely put my own personal integrity over the government. Like, as many times as I've worked for the government already, I
Mhm.
don't have any shame in saying that the government doesn't always get it right, and
Mhm.
you have to rely on your own,
Mhm.
integrity to be able to,
Mhm.
like, do the things. Yeah. So cows, pigs, I would make sure that they were handled correctly,
Yeah.
that they were humanely euthanized
Yeah.
correctly,
Yeah.
and then I would also work inside the plant too, where the inspectors, right? They're not veterinarians, but they're inspectors. They inspect each carcass, that goes by, and if they see something like a disease process, then they
Mm.
pull that out, and then one of us vets
Oh.
comes and takes a closer look to see if something can just be trimmed off,
Mhm.
or whether the
Mhm.
whole, something generalized.
I used to work at a slaughterhouse, and that was like traumatizing, basically, because Lena, I told you.
Yeah, I remember
And the
you.
fact that I was with part of the processing of meat. I didn't do the actual slaughter
Yeah.
or anything like that. But sometimes the main floor be so crowded, with the lunchroom be so crowded, it'd be the lines long. So I just few times occasionally go to the slaughterhouse lunchroom, and I would never do that again because I actually witnessed the process. And like you mentioned, the stun gun.
Yeah.
Not a stun gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and what was the funny thing? It's not really funny about the slaughterhouse, but I had to make some kind of. Because I was
Mhm.
about to have a nervous breakdown. I was having a nervous breakdown that place. Cause,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
like you mentioned, like when sometimes when you cut into the meat and some of that abscess come in,
Oh yeah.
and we had to shut everything down.
Yes.
And it'd be so funny because everybody's scrambling like red ants. It'd be so funny because, like I said, we're
Yeah.
getting $1,000
Yep.
a minute.
Yep.
Minute.
So
Mm.
longer the
Mhm.
machines are shut down, everybody, the manager, gold hats, they had brass, gold hats, whatever.
Yep.
The head guys, they were just scrambling around, closing the machines down and so forth. But it was such a funny sight to see. But it also, even though it was cold in that slaughterhouse,
Yeah.
that abscess, as soon as you cut it, it just
Everywhere.
it just smelled. I mean, the whole.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm like, have you
Yep.
dealt with? Now we didn't have a. I don't think that we. I probably did have a health inspector because every
Yeah.
slaughterhouse have to have.
Did you have your doctor coat on, or were
I
you
think we had
incognito?
I think
You was in
we
there.
all wore
Yeah.
white.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah. Y'all wore white, and I think our inspectors also wore white because you were all out there on the line together. And then I would probably be wearing something similar too, like just
Mhm.
wearing white. I mean, they get to know you after a while. Like you're gonna
Mhm.
see you.
Mhm.
Hey.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're right. There's a health inspector. A health inspector might be somebody different. We're, as a veterinarian, it's more so focused on the animals themselves, but it is also health and cleanliness aspects too. But I think there's another person in there for the cleanliness aspects too. It wasn't all me, thank goodness. because I do like to deal with the animals. But yeah, those abscesses would be like, but something like an abscess might be easy to just trim off. Even though it might be even a huge abscess, you can get that out. Because the abscess in itself is the body walling off something so that it's has a thick wall and it doesn't get into the rest of the body. So an abscess in and of itself is a way to, kind of the body's way to wall off an infection so that it can just be trimmed off more easily.
Now, and Arlene and I, we had a discussion yesterday or the other day, and we was wondering. I asked Belinda, do you use what army? How does the army use animals as far as their
Program? Like how do the animals?
which animals do they use?
Yeah, I know there is a lot of question around that
Or
because
is
a lot
this
of
top
people
secret,
don't know.
first of all?
Right,
You know, guinea pigs or
Right.
weasel or
This is the rat. We trained it to be
Right.
able to like take this over there.
Right. I got the upper higher security clearance.
We got enough eyes on us as it is, Dr. Croom.
Oh my goodness.
So what animals did you guys, with the Army or the Armed Forces use for part of their whatever?
For what we do. Yeah, in the Army, there's a couple different types of veterinarian. There's not the one that I did, there's the vet that works in the clinic on the base, right? So I was stationed at Travis Air Force Base in Northern California, a beautiful part of the country.
Sounds beautiful.
It is. So that veterinarian would do the clinic and, taking care of the soldiers' pets that lived on the base.
Oh.
But that veterinarian would also do food safety. So a big part of veterinary work is food safety. A lot of people don't know that.
Sure didn't.
Don't know
Thank
that.
you.
As a
Learned
matter of
something new
fact,
today.
During basic training down at Fort Sam Houston, all of us medical people came together at one. It was like doctors, nurses, dentists, veterinarians, and we kind of got some basic information together. Then they split us off. Why they put us veterinarians in the freezer cooler? It was like we had freezer coats on, and there were cuts of meat hanging, because that is a big part of the veterinarian's job in the military is food safety. So, for example, during war times, before the main body of troops are sent over, the veterinarians go first to look for foreign animal diseases and to find a clean source of food and water and like milk and meat and things like that. Our soldiers are on MREs and packaged meals as they're traveling about. So when they get to where they're going, we need to have already, sussed out what's going on. Like, where are we going to get milk from? Where are we going to get meat from? Where's the clean sources of water? So veterinarians are a big part of that. So on the base, that veterinarian also does that. But what I did, I was more on the training and research side of the house. So I was attached to the main hospital. And we used pigs. Pigs are very similar to humans in their body and organs. So my veterinary soldiers who were vet techs, we would get the pigs, anesthetize them, put them under and allow the human Air Force doctors to come down and practice their techniques on the pig before going overseas, because we don't want them going overseas and practicing on their comrades.
Yeah.
So we used pigs. We also had a colony of ferrets there at the base. And those ferrets were used to simulate a baby or a small child. And we would anesthetize the ferrets. Then the pediatric residents would come down and they would practice putting in a breathing tube in the ferret, and that would simulate a baby or a small child. So yeah, pigs, ferrets, there was a few goats. So we did some blood. I remember there was a lieutenant colonel who was doing a study on carotid artery, and so he would use the goats, and he would come in every day and do his test and check things, and then we would care for the goat in the interim period. So it's very interesting what we vets do in the Army. A lot of people don't know about that.
That's very important because oftentimes people think about the military and they're only seeing infantry.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you're mentioning this whole other aspect of the benefits of military,
Yep.
can we kind of like stay there a little while
Sure,
longer? Okay,
sure.
because you got your patches and badges. Like,
I
explain your
know,
beautiful,
I
your beautiful,
know.
all of your beautiful coats and hats.
Absolutely, I know. Yeah, this is, the BDUs, which is the, kind of like the camo. You say, oh, camouflage, like this is the real deal.
I touched it.
I know, right? It's got that
It's good
stiffness
quality.
to it.
Like
This
good
is
stuff.
showing and this is so that like when you're in a wartime status, you can blend in. I mean, it literally is to blend in because we've got other uniforms as well that are shiny, right? Or our hat, maybe has like the insignia as well on our hat when we wear that. And that's sometimes a shiny one. But when you're out in the field, you have the muted one, so that you're not so visible. But you know how it is when you're come across the enemy and they're like, oh, there's a high value target, so you don't want to necessarily show who you are when you're out there. But, in here, this is showing my, when I was first going in as a captain. I've since then been promoted to major. So when I did fully retire, it was as Major Croom. And then you can just see the veterinary caduceus here, the patch that just shows that I was in the veterinary Army Veterinary Corps, and just in general, I was with the 60th Medical Group, and that was a big important part of my life, and it helped build my leadership skills that I already had been cultivated by my parents. People always say, oh, you went to the military and that's where you learned it. No. No. It was in
Home training.
The Croom household. Okay. Mama Leola, when we went to go visit
my
her.
My name is Leola.
Really?
Yeah. All these years we didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, Mama Leola was my grandmother, my mom's mom.
Oh wow.
And so
yeah, I can't make this up.
Yeah, Mama Leola. Thinking of you, Mama Leola. I talk to her often. I know she's one of my spiritual guides, who's always continuing to watch over and be enjoying the things that I do down here. She's
Yeah.
enjoying me being here right
My
now. Like, you better
Lord.
talk about me.
Yes,
Shoot.
how far we've come.
And
How far our
we've come.
ancestors have
Oh my
come.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Woo.
So
The elders and seniors and the ancestors.
they sure have. So that's where I got my leadership and my stand-upness, and my integrity and all of that. The military just reinforced it and taught me some other things as well. You can't really go into the Army Veterinary Corps and be a wilting flower or a wallflower. You got to be able to stand up because you've got to be able to. So me going into the military, I went in, like I said, as an officer, but I was still new to the military. So like all those military rules and different things like that, when you go in, you have your enlisted folks that are there to make sure that you kind of stay on the right path, right? So you, as an officer, I come in and I have my NCO, and he's been in for like 15 years. He's like, oh my God, I still remember him. What was his name? Bradley. Hey, Bradley, if you're out there, I can't remember his last name, but it was his job to like make sure like, the new captain, like don't let her, do this or do that. And so they set you up for success.
Okay, I
but
know
you
that's
just-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't come in though as a wilting flower or scared to come in and be in control or be the leader because just because they've had so many years already in the military. But you also have to have that humility as well. You can't come in like, oh, I'm the stuff, like, you will not do well if you don't get the respect of your enlisted that you are supervising. And I would supervise. It was really great though at Travis Air Force Base because it was an Air Force base and I was Army.
Oh.
But so I had Army soldiers who were the vet techs. And then I also had Air Force airmen who were the scrub techs. So again, we were in that surgical suite with those pigs, right, that were anesthetized so that they can come down and train. The scrub techs were on the Air Force side, and the vet techs, as far as like monitoring the pig on the, with the anesthesia stuff, that was on the vet tech. So I was blessed to be able to work with both Air Force and Army, technicians and things like that. And yeah, it was really good.
Have you always wanted to become a veterinary, army vet, or
Yeah, that's a
armed
good
forces?
question. Yeah.
Veterinary?
No, not armed force. No, no. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until my third year of vet school at Tuskegee that we got a guest coming in, um, Colonel Nathaniel Powell. He came in and talked to our class, and I was like, "Oh, this handsome brother, just
Mm.
dressed to the nines, a
That helps.
veterinarian. That doesn't hurt. That
Don't
didn't
hurt
hurt." I was like, "I want to do what you do."
Hey,
know,
boo.
I mean, it was like really, that's really what did it. I think
Oh,
that if
okay.
he hadn't been visited then, I'm
Mm.
not sure what I would have done, as far as right out, because over these 25 years of being a veterinarian, I've found that working in a vet clinic is just not my thing. Like, I don't want
Oh.
to do it. It doesn't,
Mm.
attract me at all.
Okay.
To say, oh, I want to go into a vet clinic every day and do surgery every day and be in a building all day. Mm-mm. So, having that interaction was what really got me going into the military. But I do have quite a few military family members, including my older sister, Gwen, who served in the Gulf War. And she was a medic, and she was over in Germany and over on the Autobahn in the ambulance doing all the things. So kudos to you, sister. She definitely did her thing.
God
But I
bless
definitely
you.
was not planning to go into the military. That wasn't a goal. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't until that third year that Colonel Powell came in and showed us what it was. And so, yep, he helped me go ahead and get in. I moved forward. I started getting, in shape so that I could be
Mm.
ready to do the PT and everything like that. Because, in the Army, you got to get down and do those push-ups, sit-ups, and run the 2 miles. So.
You look so enthusiastic when you said
Ah.
that. There's so much glow in your face when you said those things.
I did used to run track for a while, but
Not the same with a
Yeah,
backpack.
not the same. Exactly, right. Got the whole rucksack and you're out there doing the thing and with your GPS and trying to find, you had to get out there and find like a target, with the map and the training that you had, and it'd be like, oh my gosh. Never did get great at that. So I'm always glad that we have real GPS now.
Sure enough.
I
Hey,
love
Siri.
it. I need it. I need it.
Now looking on your portfolio,
Yeah.
I see that you were in Iraq. Did you go to Iraq?
I did not. I was in the military during that period of
Oh,
time,
during.
during our Operation Iraqi Freedom. But that's okay, though. That's a good question because a lot of times we veterans are asked, oh, did you go overseas? And I know when I first got out, I felt a little, I was thinking that like, oh, I didn't go overseas. Like, we're
Mm.
all a part of the same team. It took another veteran to just really
Wow.
remind me that like, you don't have to feel ashamed or any way that what you put forward is less
Mm.
because you did not. You have to have like the support team, and that's what I was. And so even though I was still pretty young then, I was like 23, 24. There were still even some soldiers that were even younger than I that were like going. So they were 19, 20, and they were going. These Air Force,
Mm.
airmen. So, I did not go overseas. It's probably a good thing, but sometimes veterinarians do, like I said, to go over and prepare those areas before the main body of the troops. So some of the vets in my graduating class down there at Fort Sam did take on a more of a travel mode versus me being more in the training and research mode. Yeah.
And now you do give back to vets as a vet. So
Mhm.
you want to kind of talk about the support that you do for families or individuals with with your home-based business or
Yeah,
mobile business.
absolutely. So Dr. Croom Mobile Veterinary Service has been around for about close to 10 years now. And,
Yeah.
like I said, after I left that barn with those cows and everything like that, I was like, let me go out here and hang out my own shingle
Mm-hmm.
and start my own business. And again, I love to be outdoors, and so it kind of is a win-win situation for me because I get to be outside in nature, and I get to give access to people who may have some different abilities. And I always say different abilities. A pet may have different abilities. They may. Dr. Croom Mobile Veterinary Service is certified as service disabled veteran-owned. So we are a veteran-owned business. We give a veteran discount every day as well as a senior discount.
Aw.
And so a big thing for us is solutions and
Mhm.
access. So the solutions are on a more of a holistic focus. So I'm a holistic veterinarian, even though I still have access to all the medications and drugs that typical traditional veterinarians use. I really have found my niche these past years on the holistic side. People already know. Pet parents already know. If you want to come and talk about how I can maybe wean my dog off of these drugs for this ailment,
Mm.
go to Dr. Croom. She's going to
Okay.
find maybe some herbs or some other supplements that we can maybe wean off.
Okay.
Um, I also have worked a lot with the senior citizens in the city. So I've partnered with Milestone. Hey, Milestone.
Hey,
Thank you for
Milestone.
being a partner.
Yay.
They've got a really great reputation
Yes,
for
they
helping
do.
seniors in the community.
Mhm.
They've got like Meals on Wheels and other
Mhm.
programs like
Mhm.
that. So we partnered last year, and
Congratulations.
thank you. It's a lot of fun. I'll grab up my veterinary assistant, Kayla. Hey, Kayla. Look, I'm up saying.
Shout outs, hey,
I
we
know.
want the shout outs to be shout
Make a
out.
shout out
Yes.
to people.
Yes,
I'm
make your
shouting
shout
out
out.
everybody because
Please,
I definitely
please believe.
can't do it alone.
Mhm.
I can't do it alone. So I partnered with Milestone, and we'll get like a group of maybe 7 or 8 seniors in Kalamazoo that have a pet at their own house, and we'll go to each one like on a Saturday.
Okay.
Then Sunday, we come together again, and we go to maybe 7 or 8 more homes, and we give routine care. So shots, heartworm tests for the dogs, things like that, just exams. And they are so grateful to be able to have those services right there at the home. They're like, come on in, and we bring our stuff in, and the scale and the vaccines and stuff, and the cats are running around. We try to reach out before and say, like, close off the doors for
Oh,
those cats,
yeah.
so they can't get under the beds. But we went out about 3 weeks ago, and we were able to get all the pets taken care of.
Okay,
And it was a lot of
congratulations.
cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Oh,
was
a lot of
cats
cats.
that day. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of cats that day. So, but I love it. So again, that's access, giving people who may not be able to get to a vet clinic access. One of the things that's really changed with my vet service recently, though, is that routine care that I was talking about, like the shots and like rabies shots and heartworm tests. I don't do that full time anymore.
Okay.
I do that only really through my partnership with Milestone and other organizations. So if you are an organization that provides senior services, definitely reach out to us at drcroom.com, where we can partner with you as well and get your people taken care of. But basically, I've shifted over into my niche of senior pets.
Okay.
So yes, we work with senior owners, but also senior pets dealing with some of the same issues we deal with, arthritis and pain and like lethargic and, different things like that. We get on a virtual visit with the pet parent. We start talking about what's going on and what they're already doing. And then I know a lot of pet parents also reach out to me who want to let their senior pet take a breather from all the vaccinations and things.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Because-
sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because in the vet world, like, it's not uncommon for vet clinics in general to, every year, like, come get your vaccines. Like, that's how we survive. That's what we do. And I've just shifted a little bit from that to go into more of a holistic direction so that they know that we're totally non-judgmental. If you say, I don't want to give my dog rabies shots anymore. I don't want to
Yep.
do this. Like, they're inside the house. So it's like, as long as we have that conversation and they know, like, okay, here's the potential risks, right? There may be still some risks on this or that, but I'm going to help them figure out a way to do things more holistically. So senior pets, I did get certified in animal spinal manipulation, which is on the animal side is chiropractic.
Okay.
So on the animal side of the house, we call it animal spinal manipulation. We can't call it chiropractic. The humans
okay.
got that one,
Okay.
covered.
Okay. You got you.
But, I still use the word so people know what it is.
Yeah, 'cause-
Same.
I still use it, like, same. So I love doing that too. I go to the person's home, I do an exam, I do a neurological exam on their pet, and then I go through the body and feel for any restrictions and things like that. that are blocking. You know, chiropractic is so much more than just like the backbone. A lot of people think, oh, it's crack the back, right? It's actually involves the muscles, the bones, and like the veins, arteries, and nerves, all those things. Because something could be pinched,
Mm.
right? Inside of like maybe if you are talking about the spinal cord and all the veins and arteries are coming through and the nerves, there's a nerve in there pinched. I can go in and adjust that, you know, vertebrae, and now it's like taking that pain off, and you can sometimes see that immediate
Mm.
relief of that pet. It's like before I even leave the home, they're like, owner's like,
Yeah.
hey, looking good over there. You know, I have a great client out in Marshall who has Milo, a dachshund. Now, if you know dachshunds, they typically, the hot dog dogs,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So they tend to have back problems anyway.
Mm.
And so she's one of my longtime clients. Hey, Lori. And she actually added Sammy, her little poodle that she got recently onto the mix too. So when I go out there, I see Milo and Sammy. I give them both chiropractic adjustments,
Okay.
and they love it.
Mm.
They love it. You know.
Now I have a couple of questions. Do you have any pets yourself?
Oh my goodness, you know I do.
Just curious,
You know I
you might want
do.
to bring the job with your home life. You know, so just got to working on a cat now.
Right.
Or you a meow.
Exactly.
So what do
Exactly.
you have,
What do I
doctor?
have at the house? I do have a dog named Mayo. She's a cattle dog mix, so she's like a medium sized, you know, kind of at your shin type of dog that I adopted during
Aw.
COVID. She was at the kennel that I was going to the kennel to do vaccinations for another dog for a client of mine, and then Mayo's down a couple cages down, like looking at me like
Oh.
one little blue eye, one brown eye. You know, the cattle dogs, they have those little
yeah.
different colored eyes sometimes. The kennel owner was like, "Hey, doc, don't you need a dog? Don't you want a dog? This one, you know, his owner's passed away."
Oh.
And so she was just there. It's
Mm.
like, don't
You
be
can't
asking me this
resist.
stuff. Dang. No, but I had gone a long time
Mhm.
without my own dog as a veterinarian because they're like having a kid.
Mm.
Even right now, I'm like, if I just want to take a trip up to Chicago for the weekend, I've either got to take her or put her in a kennel or just, you know, so it is a big deal, you know,
Mhm.
getting pets and having a dog or having a cat. A lot of times people will leave cats at home. They'll be
Sure
like,
will.
put the food right in there, enough food
Yeah,
for
you
4
are
days.
fine.
Like, peace.
Yeah,
You
that's
didn't
what
want to see me anyway.
People act
cat.
like they don't like cats, but cats are so convenient. Like,
They
hey,
are.
y'all check, just make sure y'all put some water, shut
Yeah.
the door, they're fine.
Good. I'm glad you know about that
Yeah.
part of it because it's definitely serious. But yeah, so I have the cattle dog. I have a bearded dragon.
Oh.
So that's like a lizard.
Now, people say they love their bearded dragons.
Yeah, they're cool. Like
I heard
other than
that.
that, anytime I let her out, her name is Aquila. And I'm like, really? You could have done that in your cage? You had to do that out on the floor? Okay.
Birds are the same way.
As soon as you get out. So, and then I also have a little leopard gecko. So it's just a little tiny little
Okay.
gecko named Lucy. And then I have a red-eared slider, which is a type of turtle. That's a water turtle.
Oh, okay.
Slider?
Yeah, red-eared slider.
It's like I never heard.
Yeah, and so they have like the red markings and things like that. So I have a big aquarium down in the basement that Rindle stays in. And then last but not least, I just got 2 new babies recently. Baby tortoises.
Baby
I should
tortoises.
have brought them here.
They don't move fast.
No, they don't.
They could have probably been okay on the show.
They would have probably been okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I've used them twice in the past, like 3 weeks, because I've been at events.
Mm.
One event was at the Portage Senior Center.
Oh,
where they had an
yeah.
event.
Shout out to
and,
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Portage Senior Center.
Yep.
Actually am a member now, because it starts at age 50, and I'm proud to be 50. I'll be
Amen.
51 this year.
Yes.
You
Happy
know?
birthday.
Yes, thank you. And then, so the baby tortoises, both of them fit in my hand right now, one hand
Wow.
right now, and they're so cute. They're named Ruta and Tuda.
Okay.
They're cherry head tortoises, and I got them at the Kalamazoo Expo. Shout out to the Kalamazoo
Were you
Reptile
there- Were you there a
Expo.
few weeks ago when they had it out there?
No,
The reptile expo?
not recently. I haven't been to the expo probably in about at least 4 months or so.
Because they just had one they had one a few weeks ago. And they had a record show. I went to the record show.
Oh, okay.
But I met this lady who had this, maybe I told you that she had it looked like a clay. It looked like it was a clay. We was talking about animals the other day, or another time. It looked like it was a stiff clay, but it was a lizard from the Pacific,
Oh.
and she paid $180 for that.
Mhm.
So I know you paid good money for that.
Definitely did. I paid for both of those little babies. I was like, oh, what is it?
Are these gonna be?
$300?
Are they gonna be? Are they gonna be like the?
They're not going to be huge like the sulcata tortoises that are huge.
Mhm.
Those are sulcata. These are cherry head tortoises. They're going to be about basketball size.
Okay.
So still pretty big, and still probably will outlive me. You know, that's one of the things.
Okay.
Yeah, they can live to be 50, 60, 70 years old.
Yeah.
2 I have now are babies. They're less than a year old. So they're in my will.
Yeah, please believe. Must have
They're
that.
going to be a trustee and one of the, one
No,
of the
for
trusts
real.
and stuff.
Yeah, that's my area. So you know that I'm like
Yes.
that's not just a joke. Like that is important.
Exactly.
Make sure you got some
Exactly.
money
Put
to
them
care for
in
that
there.
afterlife for your babies because
Exactly.
they gonna still need their chiropractic
Yeah.
services and their organic medicines. And
Yeah.
when we get a chance, you'll move over to your product because you got your product
Absolutely.
line too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
But
do.
before you get into, I want to know what's your radius and
Oh.
diameter as your
Of my
how far
service
you-
area?
Your services, yeah. How far?
Yeah,
are you willing to go?
Southwest Michigan. So like I'm located in Portage, and I go to Battle Creek, and I go to Plainwell.
Okay.
As far as so Plainwell's kind of towards Grand Rapids, of course, and then Battle Creek and all the little cities in between I cover. Vicksburg, Schoolcraft, Three Rivers, Matawan, all those
Kalamazoo.
are yes, definitely
So
Kalamazoo.
within like 50 mile or within 40 miles? Or within...
Yeah, I would say within like, I try to keep it within 30. For the end of life service, I'll sometimes go a little further.
Okay.
And I also have some weekend slots for the end of life service too, just because when the time comes, it's time. When pet parents know that it's time, that's a great thing. Sometimes they don't always know if it's time, and that's one of the reasons I have my hospice virtual visit too. So, if they're like, maybe like the husband and wife, maybe the husband thinks it's time to go and the wife is like, no, they're still wagging their tail and they still are eating and drinking. So we get on the virtual visit. That's another really important service that I offer.
Yeah.
And we can talk about those pros and cons.
Yeah.
Good days versus bad days. Are we keeping them around just for us versus for them?
Yeah.
A lot of things that sometimes I'm needed. It also too, like, what would you do, Doc, if this was your dog? Like they want to hear like, what would I do too, for those kind of things. So yeah, the radius is we get a decent radius of services, and I was thinking about maybe adding Grand Rapids into the mix too for the end of life service on certain days, trying to just expand a little bit. Because Grand Rapids is my hometown.
Okay.
And my mom is still there, so I never have a problem going there because I can always visit her and just see how she's doing. After my dad transitioned a little over a year ago, me and my sisters are really just rallying around mom and making sure she's good, which she's doing a lot better now. We all are just figuring out how to make it here on this earthly realm, without daddy.
Shout out to your mom.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey,
Your
Gertrude
sister.
Croom. Hey, Gert.
And Mr. James.
James
Your dad,
Croom.
your pops.
Yep.
I always show respect and gratitude for those who made a path for us
Such a path.
to grow.
Such a great
So,
path. Yeah.
Always show respect and gratitude. To
Absolutely. We did a lot of traveling growing up, with them both being teachers and having the summers off and things like that. They pack up that family car and we would be out there. Like, that's such a blessing how we were raised and grew up and what we had access to. And a lot of times people can't always travel when you're kids. Like, your parents are working,
Yep.
you're at the house or whatever, and we understand that. But we were able to go to so many states, as well as a lot of times we went to Canada and Canada's Wonderland and Shakespeare Theater, all that stuff. So thank you, Mom and Dad. Yeah. So
I guess you don't give out your products we see here.
yeah.
You want to put a close up?
They probably can zoom
Close
it
up.
in.
They're gonna be doing a close up.
Yeah.
Man, I'll put it in front of my face.
Yeah,
Look.
I'll take one.
But yeah, I mean, I've always been entrepreneurial.
Okay.
Outside of just strictly like vet services, I know that to create generational wealth and wealth in general, I need to have some products, or I need to have some intellectual property, or something that I create, something that can go on and on. And so the products are just one aspect of that, and they follow along with my holistic focus. So these herbs are ones that come from the university where I got certified for the chiropractic.
Okay.
And I created some special blends around those. And for instance, this detox herb formula right here has a mixture of liver happy, jade screenate, and moringa inside. And so this is like if we do detoxes, you know, when was the like when and so when you do a detox,
I don't
Lena,
detox.
you don't do detox. When you do
I'll-
a detox,
yeah.
oh, okay. So when I do a detox,
Yeah, you talk, yeah, like what? What did I have? I had some potato chips in a root
Right.
beer, you know. So please,
when humans do detoxes, we tend to, you know, get the herbs and berries and, you know, like try to cut out certain things. So these things really boost the immune system. Jade screenate, that herb is like amazing for building up the immune system in dogs and cats and horses.
Okay.
Moringa, if you look up moringa, that plant, that's like, that does it all.
Really?
Like, yes, like not only anti-inflammatory, but just like nutrients and vitamins and things like that. And then liver happy, that's like detox, you know, the liver is a major detox organ. So that's one of the formulas that you can find at the website, which is drcroom.com. And then this here is slippery elm bark. So I recently partnered with, I've been partnering a lot this year. Like, I partnered with a nutritionist,
Aw.
and she has had a retail store that I came into with pet retail stuff. And then she
Cool.
reached out to me, Taylor Sims. Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Taylor.
And she has joined the team to provide online nutritional consultations. So sometimes people just like, I don't know what to feed my dog or cat. I think she really focuses more on dogs. And raw feeding is a big question that comes up. Like, oh, shouldn't we, you know, feed their dogs raw meat? And so I can get into the mix there and explain, especially for the seniors, that totally raw meat might not be ideal because their immune systems may be a little slower, right? Like they may be slowing down a little bit. So having a raw meat, fully raw, with the bacteria that we know can be found in it, I say cook it down a little bit. So I get some raw meat for my dog. And I usually get it from a butcher. I usually get it from the one right there on Wynn Road, V&V Butcher. Hey, V&V Butcher, because they do the organ meat, you know, bags that you can just go pick it up.
Okay.
And then I will cook some down for my dog, so just to knock off some of those bacteria. You know, my dog Mayo now, she's getting to be about 9 years old, so she's getting up there a little bit. And but the products are ones that you can add right to the, so it's a little powder. You really don't even have to add that much. But the slippery elm right there, that's really good for the stomach and the gut, you know, issues. And it just helps kind of lubricate the intestines and everything and lubricate the digestive system. So that's our newest product that we've just added thanks to Taylor's insight, you know. So Taylor comes and she does the nutrition consults online. And if the pet parent needs a veterinarian, if it's more of a veterinary thing, then we'll do the type of virtual visit where both she and I are on.
How nice. And you mentioned, speaking about virtual, you talked about your interns.
Yes.
So we're kind of like adding more virtual,
Oh my
like you got your
God,
face
yeah.
on every
They are. I'm
tech
like,
savvy.
It makes sense. Like let's add a little
Yeah.
nuance to it. But yeah, my intern program, it's a pre-veterinary internship program that's all virtual.
Okay.
And it starts at 11th grade in high school on up.
Okay.
So 11th grade on up, pre-veterinary. If you're in undergrad, you might be, and you're planning to go into the vet world, then you absolutely, this might be the internship for you. They join me on my telehealth visits with pet parents that allows them to see how I talk to the pet parents, see how I let the pet parent talk and I'm not talking over the pet parent. See how if they're grieving or having some just questions, or they just really, they're probably used to going into vet clinics and having the vet be very busy in there. You know? And so, you know, my colleagues, shout out to my veterinary colleagues out there that are managing a clinic and giving still all that compassion as much as they can, but they usually have a shorter amount of time. They go in, okay, this is going on, boom, next room. With me, I don't like I just love it. It's like I'm set up exactly how I want to be for my own, you know, sanity, but it's also good for them because then they can talk and just, and with my internship, they can, if they're interested, they can get right in there and be one of the ones to triage the client before I get on the call. Just like in the vet clinic, when the pet parent is in there, the vet tech comes in first and gets the, you know, vitals and all that stuff. The vet's not in there yet. So I'm trying to really cultivate that culture in my telehealth as well. So I have an amazing assistant who just started working with me a few months ago. Her name is Amani Jenkins. And she'll start the call off. I may still be out there driving around doing this or that. I'll be like, I'll be on in just a minute. So she gets the initial questions going. What's been going on? Tell us about it. And she models after me of letting them talk and say what's what. You know, the AI, we talk about the technology and all that new stuff that's happening. We use that too for the recording of those conversations so that we can really, again, even more focus on them and not have to be worried about writing down every little thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about it, that's a fantastic addition to our practice. And the interns are loving it. So the interns that I have right now, 2 of them have just been accepted to veterinary school. Fred, hey Fred,
Congratulations.
he got accepted to Michigan State here in Michigan, and my other intern who's in Virginia, she got accepted to vet school as well. And I'm going to be interviewing them because a lot of my interns also, in addition to being with me on the virtual visits, there's a big media aspect to it of like a preparation for them. So I interview them of various topics. Some of them are topics from my podcast, which is called Controversial Animal Topics.
Okay.
And so we talk about all the things your vet might not want to talk about.
Okay.
I talk about them
Okay.
with my interns. So some of the topics that we've talked about so far have been the high rate of suicide in the veterinary world and why that is. We've talked about the screwworm epidemic that has happened where these worms have come up from like Mexico and they're flies, right? The different fly, the larva, the worm, maggot, all that. We expect those maggots, we're used to seeing them on unalive animals, right? On the side of the road, right? Maggots, right? We know that they feed on dead and dying tissue. These screwworms, living tissue. Totally living tissue, healthy living tissue.
Oh, that's horrible.
So this is why it's like, I feel like it's my responsibility as a veterinarian, as well as the interns, to be able to share that knowledge with pet parents out there because it's not widespread. Again, for the fact that I have worked for the government in a couple of different ways, in the military as well as for the Department of Agriculture, I feel like I have every right to say that they sometimes keep information away from the public. Sometimes it's valid, you know, we don't want everyone to go crazy, but sometimes they, I think, hold back a little bit on giving information to pet parents. Because, for instance, the screwworm epidemic, it affects livestock, you know, a lot. Because the livestock are out there, the flies are there, right? They're attracted, and so they can get into wounds that are on those animals. But what about the pet parents that just have domestic animals like cats and dogs? You could have a dog that has been spayed and they have a totally clean wound that's healing up, and those screwworms could still infect them. Maybe they're sitting on the back porch. So that's another topic that we talk about in the podcast. I also have a Substack account where I have, you know, blog articles about some of these vet truths that we get into as far as the vet world. Things like, I actually just posted a new podcast episode yesterday about horse soaring. It's where I talked to one of my interns, Elise, about horse soaring, which she's like, what is horse soaring? I didn't know what horse soaring was. sore like making a sore, making a wound, making a painful sore. It's something that's done to horses to make them do that high step. You've ever seen those horses, those with the gait? Yep, exactly. Doing the high step. There's actually people out there that will create sores on the feet so that they'll at least, well, definitely check out the podcast. Again, it's called Controversial Animal Topics, but Elise talks about how they'll use caustic materials like petroleum or kerosene or things like that, and they'll wrap it onto the foot to keep it on there to create a painful sore so that during the competition they're doing. So I'm just like, so this is one of the things that I tell my interns all the time. You continue to learn. I've been a veterinarian for 25 years, and I was not familiar with horse soring until one of my horse interns told me about it and what it's doing. I was like immediately like, let's get it on the podcast. Let's talk about it, because the more people know about it, the more people aren't going to be able to get away with that.
Actually, it's torture. Actually,
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's,
and,
it's
and the fact that when you do see a horse trot, they look so graceful,
God.
prestige.
Yep.
They look so like
Yep.
elegant and
Yep.
everything, but it looks uncomfortable. I mean, because it's not a natural
Right.
horse's
Yep.
ability to look that way, or their agility and everything. I
Yeah.
often thought it looked kind of odd. I
Yeah.
thought it looked kind of cool, but actually,
Yeah.
it didn't set me 100%. I'm glad you told me that, because I'm glad it. Seen some things just like the bull riding when they do the bull
Oh,
riding
yeah.
before.
I know. We humans. Oh my God. Don't let
Those
me.
humans,
Don't
I
get
feel-
me into the
I feel
humans.
those
'Cause
humans, because I can't
Yeah.
be part of that.
I know.
Can I go back to your diet?
Absolutely.
Is garlic good for animals?
In small amounts, depending on the animal.
Okay.
For dogs, garlic can definitely be useful. It's just like there's never like just a yes or a no, because what if you have a Great Dane or a Chihuahua? Is the same amount of garlic going to be right? So it's all a matter of dosage and amount. But yes, garlic is definitely good
Okay.
for them.
Because that's my let me see my book.
Ooh, health secrets.
Yeah, we got
Ooh.
now, when you do that, you sprinkle that you mix that with the animal food, of
Mhm.
course. Can you just are they? Like, 'cause I guess how can you do they often consume it without a problem? Or they can't even notice
Yeah.
it? Do they?
A lot of times they don't notice it, depending on the dog's appetite. So again, we'll be on the virtual visit and we'll be talking about like how well does your dog eat? Do they enjoy food? Are they food driven? Some dogs are really food driven.
I got one
Some
of
are
these.
like, they'll smell it, they'll smell the herbs and be like, oh. So I have to sometimes tell the pet parent, like, make sure you be the parent, right? Because, you just like with a kid, you have to sometimes, tell them, hey, this is what you're eating. And if you're not going to eat it, let me pick this up and put it over here and I'm put it back down later, because you want to get this into their system with holistic herbs and things. A lot of times it takes a little bit longer to get going in the system versus the allopathic medications that, are like quick, like a steroid, right? You give that in the same day, you're seeing probably a decrease in inflammation. But with us, I have some herbs that if your pet, for instance, is on steroids for a long time, some issue that they're having, that they're just always on it, reach out to me, okay? And we'll see because steroids, long-term use, decreases the immune system and can cause other things. It helps them, they can't fight off other stuff. So if we can get some of my Jade Screen 8 in the mix, then we can maybe help your dog or cat wean off of that. And, we have horse owners too, who, while I don't do clinical services for horses, I get a lot of horse owners that buy the herbs in a larger amount from our website, and it helps them with anxiety. If you think of those horses out in the pastures and, maybe there's not fire, but lightning and storms and just other things that can scare them, they can get very, very anxious. So the Shen Calmer is one of our top herbs that we sell, along with Body Sore. Another top one, those just fly off the shelves. So I've really gotten into making blends for my patients so that as we go through those virtual visits, and it's like, oh, he's got a cloudy eye and he's got pain. I'm like, yep, let me put that haliotis herb for the eyes. Let me put the
wow.
body sore, and I'll make a specific mixture for that pet.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That is.
Doctor, is that for humans too, man?
it could be.
Because the animal, you spoiling the animal.
We are. I know, that's right. That's right. I know. I get that question a lot.
We both gonna take our medicine, Fido.
I smelled it.
Yeah,
the aroma's
not bad.
It's not
Not
like
bad.
I'll mix that
Yeah.
with some,
You really could.
next to
Oh, okay, you
You
could.
really could. You
Oh,
could.
It won't harm
You
a
could.
human.
No.
So
No.
therefore,
I mean, I'm
just
obviously
a
I'm not
little-
licensed for human,
Consumptions,
Medical.
yeah.
So therefore,
advice. But could you? You could.
Technically, yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's like this, like with my animals, I got rooster, I got chicken, and cats, and possum. What I eat, they eat.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's some differentials, but
Few
for the most part,
differentials. It's the
what I
same
eat,
stuff.
they eat. So
Absolutely.
therefore, so that's why
Yeah.
I said, if
This
I
is
were
all
to-
for you.
Okay.
Get your detox. I know both of you said that you've never done a detox. Okay.
I
I'ma
thought a
get y'all
detox, but it
together.
was more of a try not.
Never mind.
that
With the
years
last
ago.
3 minutes what we got
Right.
left on the
My
show.
hippie
Yes.
But I
Days. Never mind. So.
I did a water clearance.
Yeah, yeah.
Water, so, but
Yeah,
for
like
that,
water.
but I never done an action. But my friend said like menudo is good for detoxing. Like my friend Mudbone, but he said that what they use. Menudo is good for detox. I never use it. I don't. Cause I don't, the menudo. I don't. That's
I'm not familiar with that one, but various bitters,
Mhm.
soursop bitters, black seed bitters. I just got some of those recently for myself. Haven't started yet because you need to kind of, be around the house, be around
okay.
home,
Okay.
not
Good
have to go
effort.
too far when you get started. So I'm kind of looking to see, planning that. But yeah, the detox is good for the pets. And I know we're like kind of winding down a little
Yep.
bit now.
I just want to make sure that
so-
you were mentioning your wolf
Yeah,
dogs,
yeah,
and I just
we
want to make sure
just
that you
add-
get,
Yeah.
get all your
Add-
information,
Yes,
and touch base on
I-
all the
Shout outs,
things.
shout
Yeah.
outs.
Shout outs to shout outs to the
Pops and
whole
moms
Grant
and-
Croom family.
And
My we're really keeping it in the family a lot. Like for
Okay.
instance, like my marketing company that I've started using recently is called Hustlers Collective, and that's my younger sister who is a marketing and public relations guru
Okay.
out in Chicago. But you do not have to be. You can be anywhere in the world for her to help your business like really improve. So I'm one of her clients. She helps Steadfast International, which is my company, to just get all the information out there. You mentioned the wolf dogs. I've recently been licensed in another state too, so now I'm licensed in Michigan and Colorado. So I had been approached by a wolf dog sanctuary out in Colorado called Base Camp Eden. Hey, Base Camp Eden. Hey, Palace. And
Love it.
to be their veterinary partner with the wolf dogs. So that's really exciting. So I went ahead and got licensed there, and I'm setting up everything so that I can go out there for a period of time. I brought on another veterinarian into my Dr. Croom Mobile Vet Service so that during those times, I don't have to totally shut down the clinic like I normally would in the past. So she's come on. Hi, Dr. Imens. She is doing a great job training with me now, learning how to do the end-of-life services that I perform and provide. But so those are the main things that I do. Like I said, it has to do with solutions, holistic solutions, and access for those seniors and those who are at home, those who need things that maybe a traditional veterinarian can't provide. I'm here for them.
are you 24-hour service?
We are not 24 hours as far as like access to us, but we do have availability for the virtual visits most every day.
Okay.
And that's where it starts. So I don't usually just go out to homes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, other than for the end of life service, for those I do. They sign up on the website and then we go out on that day. But for anything else, we do a virtual visit first.
And then for end of life, as we're kind of ending the show, just a little bit of like what that may, because I know that you do like above and beyond when it comes to your service, to make the pet comfortable, make the family comfortable. You kind of have like a specialty with that. Could you kind of speak about that a few minutes?
Absolutely. I would say in general, like most veterinarians are very compassionate in general. We really are. I love being a veterinarian, but I've really honed in on that compassion being right at people's homes.
Yeah, but the
being
camp
that-
is used to being there.
Yeah, the animals used to being there.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm meeting the pet parent and the pet for the first time that on that visit. So I'm coming into someone's home, I'm meeting their pet for the first time, trying to get them to be comfortable and not be more anxious because I'm there. I usually then I give a sedative, go back out to my vehicle for a while that sedative takes effect, and then I come back in and perform the euthanasia at that point. And depending on the service that they choose, if they're going to handle the remains themselves, I'll do the little clay paw print for them and leave everything with them. Most of my clients do choose the take and return, where I take everything with me, and we do the cremation, and I return everything right to their home.
Cremation. That is amazing.
Now, any size animal matter, or does it?
No, I mean, I don't do horses, but I do, I've had dogs that were almost as big as a horse, we had a Bernese mountain dog recently, and we'll have Great Danes and things like that. A lot of times, the larger breeds, they don't live quite as long. So, but it's all love, and they're all so grateful. The pet parents are so grateful to be able to have that service. I hear that so much, even in their grief, I am so thankful, Dr. Croom, that you have this service.
And that you offer cremation, that is new knowledge to know that people can actually maintain their remains of of their loved one.
Absolutely, yes indeed, and you can put those remains in a necklace or blown glass, whatever you want to do with those, as well as sprinkle them out. I had the opportunity to take some of the ashes from my father, and as I've been traveling around this past year, I went to Arizona, Colorado, Kentucky, and each place I found a beautiful spot to share that nature with him.
It's all about legacies.
It
Legacies
is.
and spiritual, and it's nice.
But we're just about done now, 'cause I really miss him. I miss him so much.
We love you, Dr. Croom.
Thank you.
Thank you, friend. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy life and schedule to be here with us, and to your family for sharing you with us in the world.
And like I
Thank
said,
you.
Shout out to your parents, man, because it's a beautiful thing to let people know where your origins come from. Like your dad was your inspiration, of course, your mom also. But
Yes.
It's good to know what the quasar that got you on this path that you seem to be enjoying. I can see
I
the
do.
little glow in your.
I am.
And we appreciate you, because my family, you met Jimmy, which is my mama's. Oh, that's why we know about the senior parents with they fur
Yes.
babies. So you are,
Yes.
this have gone well and beyond. Like, you've met the leader of the pack,
Right.
little dude, But again, thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much for
you.
being here today. Thank you to
so
everybody
much.
who's taking the time to watch the show. Taking
Get in
time.
touch with our
Yeah.
doctor, your information, just in case. We're gonna make sure everybody knows
Yep.
who
If
she
you go to
is and her
drcroom.com.
services. And that's a unique service. I thought maybe you didn't want to tell anybody about making house calls for animals. That's a secret. That's kind of like a little secret, but it's a good.
That's true.
Glad you
Yeah.
Thank you.
initiated and
Thank
started
you.
it. And
Genius.
genius,
The
actually,
brilliance. The
because that's a
brilliance.
great idea.
Yeah.
Especially for people who don't have access to.
Transportation, mobility, and
Yeah.
health, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et
So
cetera.
much.
In the traumatic,
Yeah.
Yeah. That
it's-
spiritual aspect is definitely a big
so
thing.
it's
Yeah.
It's a thing about having someone who can guide them and
Yep.
Yep.
through that
Yes.
process, a difficult process.
It's difficult.
But
Yeah.
appreciate your service and
Thank you.
Yeah, and your service, your military
Yeah,
service,
yeah,
and
your
honor
military
you. Yes,
service.
honor. Yeah, the honor.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank you
you.
for the invite, and keep doing what y'all are doing.
Hey,
We'll
Bringing
have you
people
back
to
again.
Yeah,
And again,
come on
please.
Because an hour
Okay.
is
Ooh, 'cause,
hours now.
man,
Long
what? Because there
enough.
were several
Like
other
sands
questions
through
that
the
we
hourglass.
had some other things we needed to ask you.
I know, I'm
How'd
like-
you get the white coat? What was
Right.
graduation like? What was it? Was there a different graduation for veterinarians? Like, there's still some, I need to know.
Tuskegee.
Yes, like, why did you choose Tuskegee? And, what was the application process? Like,
Right.
there's still too many.
Right.
We're not done. We are not done. Keep this camera rolling.
Yeah, man, are we still on?
Nah, we probably are, but they're gonna cut some of it.
Right,
so,
right.
Leon, do your last shout out. I know
That was
they
a
catch
question.
number 3.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Just What made you go to Tuskegee?
Okay, let's hear.
I mean, I did get accepted to Michigan State as well.
Yeah,
But
okay,
I chose
so-
Tuskegee because it's the only historically black college and university that's for veterinary medicine.
Okay.
There's a new one now though in Maryland area that's opening up, so it's going to be another HBCU finally for veterinary school. But that's why. You know.
Have you ever worked in a zoo as a zoologist, or was that part of
No.
your path, or
Nope,
totally
nope,
different?
never worked in a zoo. I always loved John Ball Zoo in Grand Rapids though. That was my zoo growing up.
I think because the last time the children asked, what was the scariest animal have you ever worked with?
Oh, scariest.
Did you tell them that story?
Yeah, because it was that knocked my socks off. The answer that you gave me then, maybe your answer changed now.
I don't know what my answer was. Scary?
You said it was a feral cat.
Oh, yeah, that would probably still be the same answer. 'Cause
Okay.
They have the weaponry,
Okay.
the teeth, the claws, and the fast movement. You know, they can get you.
Now, what were you doing to the feral cat when you was operating on her? What were you just testing?
Probably just trying to give it a shot or something. Probably just trying, because sometimes people have the indoor cats and outdoor cats. Like, oh, I have 2 indoor cats and then I have this outdoor one, but he's kind of okay, So we have the cat bags, right? A little bag that's soft, and then again, my vet assistants those are the ones that I'm just like, let me stand back and you get the cat, and then I come up and I'm like, okay, let's get him in the bag, and I'll zip up the bag and the little Velcro and stuff like that. So yeah. Cats, feral cats, same answer.
Okay.
No change on that one. That's so funny that you remembered that.
I never forgot that because it was like, what? The cat? Everybody be like, oh, my pit. No.
Right.
I got this bull master. No,
Yeah.
it's the.
Yeah, pity. You can see them coming. Cat, they over there calculating, being like, okay, in 3 seconds I'm going to do,
That
The
ninja.
claws,
The
retractable
claws.
claw,
And the
teeth,
cats,
and,
and the cats usually are running the household. If there's a pit bull or bull mastiff,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
the
My
bull-
cat
they
run our
like-
dog.
They run in the household.
Yeah, the cat runs the dog in our
Yes,
house.
they are.
Always have.
It's so great.
So where can we get your products?
drcroom.com.
Is that okay? I'll go.
Yeah, the store.
And
There's a holistic store right there.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's just make
And,
sure. Did we cover that?
Yeah, I mean, if people go to drcroom.com, they're pretty much going to be able to find everything,
Alrighty, cool.
most everything, because I just updated the website and I did that myself with AI.
Okay,
Yay.
yeah, look at you, all them hats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
'cause
you
the
the
website
hats and
was
all your
like-
coats.
I know. Yeah, I looked at the website. I was just like, it's still so much old stuff on it. Like people that don't even still work for me are still on the website. I was like, I gotta change this. So I did. I was up late nights telling AI. I was like, hey Claude, do this and change the website. So now it has my information about chiropractic on there. Has information about the internship program. They can apply right on the website. All of that. Yeah. So I'm geeked about it.
And we geek too. We are so geeked. Next
Now,
time.
I know you have to have like be an animal whisperer. I know you have to talk to the animal, calm. Do you have like any type of
Dr. Doolittle, do they talk back to you?
They do.
I know they got to.
They
have to,
do.
but
I
it's
can, I
like-
can feel them. I touch them. I put my hands on them. I've taken a course called Healing Touch for Animals.
See, we need to have a
Yeah.
longer show.
I know. That works with the spiritual aspects, of the animal, or putting the hands on and things like that. When I do the Last Wishes service, I'm always like, let me be back here so the pet owners can be right by the front. I try to do everything that just makes it easier for them. The other day, it was a cat, and they were on the bed in the bedroom, and then so I was kind of in the corner, and the dad was standing in the back, and the mom was right here, and I was like, Dad, do you want to come up? And so then Mom was like, okay, I'll get on the bed, and so Dad could come right here, like next to me. Just trying to do all the things, the little things that seem so little, but they're just so important to be able to.
Do you have music in the background? Soft
That's a
music,
thing that some vets
or-
do. I don't do that, but that is something that can be done. There's little devices that are made that have like little soothing little sounds on them. Sometimes the pet parents do have
Okay.
music already playing in their house.
Because you want to set a setting of like a comfortability of the aura or just the transition and just to make the animal just like any living thing. You want to make them feel comfortable
Yeah.
and could show compassion, of course.
Exactly.
So that's why I just
Sometimes in the house, they'll already have, like I said, either music or sometimes their TV is
little
on.
fountain or something soothing to the point
Yeah.
where okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Definitely helpful there.
And the afterlife is big because even in Egyptians mummifying their cats and dogs and things like that. Like, so
Not
this is
really dogs, but
definitely.
cats and
Cats.
crocodile. No, I never seen mummify a dog. I haven't seen
So I know that
Anubis.
Hmm?
Anubis.
Anubis.
Yeah, an Egyptian folklore.
Yeah,
The ears.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, but you're right though. The cats are sacred in
Mhm.
Egyptian life, as well as what was the other one you said?
That's it,
The crocodile. Yeah, the
Because
crocodile.
a long time ago, we used to have at our museum, we used to have a mummified crocodile head and a mummified cat head, full cat.
What?
I don't know what happened to it because
They probably it's somewhere else. If it's not
Right.
here, it might still be here, put away. Like who
we
knows?
had a
Right.
great Egyptian exhibit. We had a real mummy. We had a. I don't know if you're not from Kalamazoo.
I just think you're supposed to
originally,
let them stay rested.
but
That's
I've
just my
been here.
personal opinion.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of history. You want to.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to wake up people from their peace of rest. You know.
Well, they were meant to live internally. That's why they mummified
That's why they
them.
was put inside their
mean-
their pyramids too, to not be disturbed.
We done.
Yeah, we want they gold, and we want to know. We nosy. No, leave business, leave the sleeping sleep. But you know, hey, but for scientific reasons, people did what they did. I won't be messing with nobody's.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
wouldn't want to, but it's kind of like it'll be educational for those current people living how they live, so we can learn from them and keep their traditions and their spirituality and their way of living. I mean, look at them; they were healthy people.
Yeah.
I mean, how can see if you can gather people to build a pyramid? You know, there was you can't gather people to build a pyramid.
what they say? We working like some Hebrew slaves.
Yeah.
We just working like some Hebrew slaves.
Yeah,
We some cotton picking Hebrew
That is
slaves.
amazing, though. How
Yeah.
they made such grand structures.
Exactly.
That's
It's-
amazing. Like,
so I'll just tell them. Well, I don't know what I'll tell them. Probably you. The collaboration and the unification, the to come together to produce to something that's still standing to this day. It blows my mind because it's such a and I wish we could come together like that to really to become a society like they were. They were
Yeah.
a very powerful society with no disturbance from the colonial, white people, colonial and all those colonizationers or whatever you
yeah.
want to call it. You know?
Yes.
So, but anyways, it's just some stuff. I'm glad. Like I said, it's a
Gonna have to come back.
gotta
Talk
come
about
back
it
'cause
now.
Please and
sometimes
thank
we,
you.
like I said, we just now getting the
Just
crust
yeah,
on
just
the
getting
top
me,
now.
just getting ready to
Alright.
just getting to know you a little bit. So you know.
What's your sign, girl?
Is it 4:15?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see.
Has it been over?
Yes, definitely have been, but that's okay.
I'm trying.
Oh, I think my car outside.
Oh,
That's-
well, I guess.
So thank you, and God bless you. And Leon, say your
Oh, meet someone new today and plant something.
yes.
Meet some new friends today and plant something.
Ooh, I will. I got a lot of seeds at home that I still have to plant.
Okay.
Just got a new herb order, speaking of which. Body sore. Mm-hmm. See?
Dr. Croom, you
See?
got any last sentiments to anybody
Yeah.
that's out here? Any last goodbyes? And
Mhm.
we'll
Shout
close
outs
out,
and
yeah.
all those beautiful things.
Just love on each other.
Mhm.
It's that love. It's that heart chakra
Mm.
that is the basis of everything.
Mhm.
Right now, with the world being how it is, it's nothing new as far as some of the things that are happening. It's a continuous thing.
Yeah.
And so the major thing to do is remember to love yourself and to love others, and everything else will fall into place. You know, that's my
Words of
my
wisdom.
words.
Words to live by.
Yeah. Go to my website, drcroom.com, because there's something there for you as well.
Well, with that, we'll go ahead and say God bless and good night till next time.
Is there a clock that says that it's time over, Lena?
Mm-hmm.
What time is it?
It